You're watching Let's Chat.
I'm here this morning with Payoffer to tell property owners like you how they can help you out with some quick and easy solutions. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Josh Donesky, owner of Payoffer. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Tell us a little bit about Payoffer and how you're helping the community.
Yeah, so I was born and raised here in Chattanooga. I love the area. I'm very familiar with it. But Payoffer, is a property solutions company. We help individuals who need to sell their property quickly, easily, and listing the property on the market might not be the best solution for them. So we jump in and we help out.
I love that. What are some ways you've helped individuals in our community? Can you give me some stories?
Sure. Most recently I'll bring up, because it was one we had to be a little bit more creative with, but it was a mother who was going through a divorce process, so they needed to sell the property as part of the divorce. She had a child that she needed to take care of, and she'd spoken with a real estate agent before. He told her, hey, this is the price I think you should list the property for. And they do what's called your net sales proceeds calculation, which is what you, after you pay commissions, closing costs, and the mortgage on the property, this is what you'll receive at closing. And they just purchased the property within 2 years, so they didn't have a lot of equity, the difference between the sales price and the mortgage. So she actually would have had to write a check at closing to pay real estate commissions and the closing costs. And so she called me. She said, Josh, listen, this is what the agent has told me. I don't know what my other options are. I don't know if you can help me, but I just figured, I saw your Facebook post, figured I'd give you a call. And I was really glad she did, because we were able to work out to where, and she didn't know this was an option because it's really not something a lot of people talk about, but we were able to take over her mortgage for her, so she doesn't have to pay that off.
Right.
Of course, she didn't have to pay any real estate commissions, and we paid the closing costs for her. And instead of writing an $8,000 check at closing, we were able to get her $15,000 in her pocket at closing.
Well, it sounds like you give a very unique and personal approach to your customers.
Sure.
So what if someone's on the fence about should they buy or sell? How do you
Sure.
talk to them about it?
Sure. I'm a licensed real estate agent, so there's a lot of things, I have that just as part of my licensure, I guess. I don't really act as an agent. But there's a lot of things that they don't teach you when you become a real estate agent. They just, teach you the cookie cutter, list the property for the asking price and, make a commission, right? But what we talk about with people who call us, we want to make sure they know they have a lot of different options that might not be presented to them. They might not be aware of it. So it's really important that they call a team, whether it's my Payoffer team or whether it's another real estate team, that they make sure the team they're dealing with is experienced and knows what's going on.
Right, because there's a lot of energy out there in the market right
Sure.
now, and people might have their heart racing, want to make impulsive decisions,
Sure.
and it might not be the best for them.
Right.
So what are some steps a seller should take before reaching out to you?
Yeah. Ideally, I would say do a little bit of self-reflection. Figure out if they need to sell, find out a little bit more about what they might need to sell the property for, if there's any repairs the property might need, just so they have a little bit more information to give us when we talk with them on the phone. Because most of the time, people who call us, they want a quick, easy, simple process, and the more information we have on the start, on the onset of things, the better we're able to help them. So, if they can gather photos of the property, that's super helpful for them, to email to us.
Right.
So we don't even have to spend the time going out there yet, right? We can give them a good ballpark of what we're able to do for them right on the phone.
That's great. Well, how can a seller be sure they're getting a fair offer with lots of offers coming in
Absolutely.
these days?
Yeah, and that's, right now the market is definitely still in a frenzy. It's started to slow down, but it's still, sellers have a lot of options, whether they're aware of them or not. But what myself and my team, what we always ask our sellers, if we're talking to them and we come to an agreement that seems like it would solve their problem, we ask them 3 questions. 1, does it solve your problem? Are you sure it solves your problem? 2, does it put cash in your pocket versus you having to pay money at closing like this individual was going to have to? That's what the agent recommended. And 3, do you feel comfortable with this agreement, right? Because if any of the answers to that is a no, we need to reevaluate and figure out what's going on, because we don't want, we want to value our customers' time and our time as well, and we want to make sure that they don't feel as though they're not getting a fair offer. Awesome. So if we need to reevaluate, we'll reevaluate, and we want to make sure we're giving everyone the best solution they can have.
Well, your warmth and your customer service comes across even in this interview, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you again for coming on our show. We really appreciate it and sharing the good news about what you're doing. How can people get a hold of you?
Sure. We have a website, payoffer.net. We're on Facebook, Instagram, or they can just call us directly at 423-415-0000.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming on again. Payoffer.net, and you can find them on Facebook or give them a call, 423-415-0000. Thanks for coming on, Josh.
Thank you for having me.